Oh my God. Big. Oh my, I hate this. There you go. I'm trying to run him forward. All the way up underneath that, dog. I'm still running him forward. Go back, keep your rod tip all the way down. You gotta go under the engine.
Big snook and big jack. That is the only thing that is on my mind this morning. All the rods are already rigged up. We're here a little early to make sure we get out before even first light. And to start off throwing big giant top waters, and I really want to smoke a big snook or a big old crevalle. Let's get a plan. I think this morning it is overcast, a little choppy. We're out early. I think it could be a good morning to whack a giant. The tide's moving. It's very favorable for us to have just a solid bite from right now till about 9:30, 10 in the morning. But we gotta put the work in. We're about to start banging on some walls with a big giant 5-inch topwater. So, got the big stick here. Make sure our drag's aight. We don't want it too hammered, but we want enough to just freaking whack a donkey if we hook one. And all we're gonna be doing, big long cast towards seawalls and working it as close to the wall as possible.
Oh my God, oh my God. Come on. Dude, there's something big sitting on that wall. And he just swirled on it when that landed. I don't think he's under it. It's gotta be a big snook. He's kind of fired up. My heart is racing. Didn't even see the thing eat or anything. So I was just looking at the wall up there and I see a big swirl. I'm like, dang, something moved a lot of water up there. And then I threw up there like a really good cast and nothing came off. I was like, man, that's surprising. And then I banged one like right against the wall, and all of a sudden I see a huge poof, like water dump out from underneath my spook, and nothing tried to eat it though. I'm gonna try something here. I'm legitimately shaking right now. There it is. I think I understand what was happening now. Not in fact a big snook, but a school of small jack. Okay, that makes more sense. It was probably multiple smaller, like it's not tiny, but like probably 4 or 5 pound jack swirling on it and not one big snook. And I thought it was like a big snook dumping out water beneath it. And now it makes a lot of sense why they're swirling on it but not eating it. And then when I switched over to a smaller diving minnow, they crushed it because that's so easy for them to eat. First fish of the morning, little croaking jack crevalle, probably like 3 pounds, 4 pounds. That makes sense now. So I was throwing up around that wall and all of a sudden I see a ton of water dump out and I'm like, oh, that's gotta be a big snook. It's gotta be a big snook just posting right up on the wall. In reality, it was actually probably 3 or 4 jack all moving at once like that, swirling on my big 5-inch plug. And they're too little to eat that 5-inch plug. Switched up, threw about a skinny little 4-inch diving minnow up in there and they munched on it. But that's one of the reasons why it's good if you have it available to you to have multiple rods rigged up. I have 4 rods rigged up behind us, basically a big topwater rod, a jerkbait rod, a like finesse fluke rod, and then actually a jig on another rod. And it's good to have all those different varieties available to you. For example, just like that, they wouldn't eat the big plug. So I threw the minnow in, I was hoping it was gonna be a snook, little jack, but that's okay. We're gonna pick up the trolling motor, run to the next spot, and see if we can bang on a big fish with the topwater before we lose our beautiful, beautiful morning light. Gosh, this thing bombs, dude. Big swirl right there. Oh my God, big snook, big snook. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. All right, we got him out. We're gonna lighten up on the drag. This thing is jumping. He's gonna jump right back here. Here he comes, here he comes. That is what I'm talking about. He's right underneath the boat. Oh, oh my, I hate this. Dude, hell yes. So, oh my gosh, this thing is a tank. It is a freaking tank. Oh, I saw a swirl up in the shallows and I just bombed my topwater up right where it was. Boom, 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 a few big pops and just saw huge wake underneath it. What's that?
He's away.
Dude, he will not. I hate this when a fish does this. He just swam at 100 miles per hour right at the boat. And so now all I'm doing is freaking dogging him around the boat like this. It's terrible. I realized it was that big, did you? That's why I was so stoked. That is what I'm talking about. And I called it this morning. I said, I want to catch a big snook or a big jack on topwater. And there it is. Absolute stud. What a tank. I'd guess probably like 33 inches or so. It is 34 maybe. It is a fat fish. That is what I'm talking about. It is 7:30 in the morning, one jack and one stud on the topwater. All right, we're going for the release on this beautiful girl right here. Oh, look how thick that fish is across the back. We're gonna get her wiggling side to side. She soaked that lens, baby. That is how you kick off the morning right there. All right, we are still just slamming away on this topwater. We'll probably be done with it here in about 5 minutes or so. My general rule of thumb when I'm fishing a topwater, it's a tight window, and you kind of just got to accept that. It is from first light, if not even 10 minutes before first light, to basically once I feel like I need to throw my sunglasses on, I'm done throwing a topwater. And that's basically a rule I've followed for a long time. And not to say that you won't catch a fish on topwater when it's sunny and bright, because I've caught big snook on topwater in the middle of the day before, but it's just not as likely, and you're better off throwing something subsurface just right beneath it once that happens. And so that's something good to keep in mind, is that you can go out and throw topwaters all day and you might catch fish, but you also might not be very successful. And so I feel like a lot of people think like, oh man, I can't catch a fish on topwater. Well, you need to be throwing at the right time. And that is low light. So first thing in the morning and right at sunset is your best chance of catching a fish on topwater. And as the summertime is starting to roll closer and closer, the topwater bite, in my opinion, is only gonna get better and better as the water heats up. So start working out the little forearm muscles of yours and just get used to being uncomfortable working a topwater for 45 minutes every day, because it is worth it to catch a fish like we just caught on a big fat topwater. But you just gotta work your right time windows and get used to your forearm being sore while you're cranking away on them. We've snuck our way into a little canal here, and ooh, I'm throwing a topwater. And earlier, you know, I was talking about how once the sun's up, basically the topwater bite dies off. In the little canals and big mangrove systems, it'll last a lot longer because there's so much more shade than in a main river. And also we've had some rain pour through on us, and so it's nice and overcast right now. So we're just kind of sneaking in here, gonna throw a topwater bait, maybe see if we can find a snook hiding underneath some of these docks. Not like that though. Oh my God, Chelsea. Hold on, I'm gonna keep reeling. I'm blasting this backwards. He's gonna try to go up in that dock. I'm blasting this backwards. Okay, Chelsea just hooked a good fish. Put some heat on him. He's trying to go up in that dock. It's a snook. It's a good snook. Like a good snook. I'll try to help you as much as I can. If he tries to dive under the boat, put your rod tip down like I do. So lean down, lean down. Yeah, yeah, there you go. I'm trying to run him forward. I'm trying to run him forward. He's all the way up underneath that dock. I'm still running him forward. Go back, keep your rod tip all the way down. You gotta go under the engine. Good job, Chelsea, good job. Your biggest goal is you gotta just keep them away from the dock. So pull left, yeah. You're doing fantastic. I'm trying to use the boat to help you out here. Turn them, turn them, turn them, turn them, turn them. Giant, Chelsea, giant. Walk up, walk up. You're doing a great job, Chelsea. So you gotta watch the troll motor. Yeah, pull them out. Go down, rod tip down, rod tip down. Good. You are an animal. Holy giant. This thing's massive.
Oh, it's going to the dock.
You feel it? You feel pressure?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we turn them.
Wait.
Run back. You're doing so good, Chelsea. You're doing so good. You guys, this is a giant. This is a giant. All right, now start walking back to the front of the boat and I'm gonna land them. Chelsea, you're doing an amazing job. Absolute behemoth, Chelsea. Are you kidding me right now? This is Chelsea's second ever snook. Open your bail for me, please. This snook makes the one I caught this morning look tiny. Are you freaking kidding me? Chelsea, is this a sick joke right now? Under her stomach, like that. So, Chelsea, this is your second snook ever, and that is a 40-incher. That is a 40-inch snook all day long. You did so good. So to explain what was just happening, Chelsea was just throwing a fluke while I was working a topwater, and she just hooks a giant. And that was the second snook she's ever even hooked, I think. Or no, the third snook she's ever hooked. And it's a monster. It is a monster. Yep, okay, so we're gonna pull her aside. You need to hold on, like literally just lay down with her almost. Drop it. Oh my gosh, that thing shot off like a rocket.
That thing just ripped out of my hand.
So, that is Chelsea's second snook ever.
I think the first one was like this big I ever
Babe, you did a good job. This is the first time Chelsea's actually really even been in a video. And so let me describe what was happening. So we're coming through this canal and I'm just like flipping a topwater really casually and trying to get like a 28-inch snook. And I just rigged up Chelsea. She was throwing basically a fluke on a really strong wide gap hook. And she cast it by the wall and I see it just boil up on the wall. And I see her set the hook and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is a huge fish. That's huge. And it starts running. And I know the filming's gonna be all over the place because I was just like running the trolling motor back and forth, basically yanking the fish out of the docks. But she did all the work. I was just basically trying to help her keep the fish out of the docks. But that is a phenomenal job. Not many people in their life will catch a snook that big and on artificial on a 4,000 size reel. That is insanely impressive. babe.
Thanks for your
Good
help.
job.
I appreciate it.
That was insane. 2 giants this morning. I catch a fish on Topwater and I think I'm hot stuff, and she just smokes it with a 40-incher on an artificial, on spinning gear, on a 4,000, on a fluke. That is the most ridiculous thing ever. And look, what we're in this tiny canal. It is 15 feet wide. That was the most insane thing that's ever happened. All right, well, I am like shook pretty much. That was the most ridiculous thing. This morning has been insane. If you can tell behind us, there's a huge storm heading towards us. Oh, and it's literally pouring right now. It is literally hitting us right now. So what I was gonna say is we were gonna close out the video here, but I think we're gonna make a run for it. It's been an insane morning. I'm gonna talk as fast as I can. It's been a crazy morning. We've caught giant fish. Chelsea caught the biggest snook of her life, and it's the only second snook she's ever caught, and she made me look like a chump today. I catch a 35-incher. I think I'm on top of the world. She smokes a 40 on the 4,000, and a tiny canal makes me look like a big dumpster baby. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. It's cold, it's wet. Until the next video, see you guys.